back then.
Yep.
But now, like, I'm so grateful for those crazy choices I made in this desperate attempt to make my own family and move forward, because now I am like, it wasn't the worst idea.
Right.
But like, I mean, we've done a ton of work. Like me and Shia have worked our asses off to get
it would be really good
move forward
if we
and
could
whatever.
interview you the whole time through and see if you felt the same way.
At the time?
At the time. Like we spoke to you at 20, 25, 28, 32. Like, how's it going?
Oh no, I mean, but I can do that in my head. I know exactly how it was going all the way through. No, I'm very, very grateful for where I am now. Extremely, extremely grateful for where I am now.
Hello, I'm Simcha Levenberg, and this is the Personal Pizza Podcast. On today's episode, we have my good friend Shira Rose. We're here to talk about grief and gluten, or the fact that they don't seem to go too well together. You know what else doesn't go well together? The gluten-free pizza I tried to make. Enjoy that. We talk about our favorite movies that have to do with grief and how movies and TV help us process grief. Also, we talk about what it's like to go back to school as an adult and get ready to go to grad school, because that's what Shira is doing, and that's something that I did too. I think you're going to really enjoy this episode, and if you enjoy this episode and some of the other ones, please subscribe and share with friends. Enjoy. Welcome to the Personal Pizza Podcast. I am Simcha Levenberg, and I'm here with my longtime friend, Shira Rose. We're very excited today. We're here to talk about a couple things. First of all, just a spoiler alert, it's a gluten-free vegan pizza day. So that's going to really add a higher level of difficulty. And we're going to be talking about grief and gluten. There's a connection there. And our favorite grief movies. Shira is an expert on grief for reasons that we shall get to, mostly personal and tragic. And we're going to also speak, Shira is, exciting news, going to graduate school soon to become a clinical psychologist, marriage and family therapist,
yes,
licensed clinical social worker, licensed professional clinical counselor, one of the above, all of the above, one of them for sure. And so here's the dough. Shira, how are you doing today?
We're getting through one step at a time.
We're having some elderberry tea that's going to be very healing and chilling. Here it's very sticky dough.
Okay.
But
you've done this before.
I've done gluten-free pizza before.
Fairly.
I have.
You're not a total novice.
No. I've played around before with this. It's
right.
just I'm filled with trepidation.
All right.
Okay, so I when I first met you, I've known you for a very long time.
20 years?
I met you because you were a student at NYU for a minute.
It's true. Minute and a half.
Yeah, you did a full 2 semesters.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I actually got to use those credits at CSUN, which I was not sure would happen. Mm-hmm. And they are why I was able to graduate before I turned 40.
Yeah, you were able to transfer credits.
Yeah.
It's amazing, right?
It was amazing.
It was really good.
Because I barely could transfer anything when I was doing community college.
Right.
They were like, no, we don't care that you did anything in New York ever. Bye.
Yes.
They did take my AP World History credit, and I only got a 3 on that exam. But Valley College was like, cool, we love it.
CSUN accepts a 3 and above.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cal State, way to go.
So when I got the associates, I couldn't really transfer anything from NYU, maybe 1 class or something. Mm-hmm. I had to take Psych 101 again because I had received a D- in that. I had earned a D- at NYU.
You got a D- in Psych 101?
Yeah, well, when you don't go to class.
That'll do it.
So, so that was actually the first class I took at Valley. I was like, I'm going to try this psych thing again and see if I can pass.
And you did it. I hope you got an A.
I did get an A.
Okay, I'm going to make 2 pizzas at once.
Okay.
Both are gluten-free. Here's where they're going to go. I'll stretch one at a time. We'll see how it goes. Exciting. So I have this. Do you know this brand?
I don't.
These are not advertisers, so we can speak horribly of them if they so deserve it. Do you know Vivan?
No.
Also not.
Okay, so we'll see.
One is a matzah shred.
We'll see
We're going to do one and one.
Terrible.
Okay, and then here's the other one. But
okay.
First I'm going to stretch.
That's
I'm going to see how it goes. I would like to hear from you. So we met, you were in college. I was recently married.
Recently married.
Yeah, I had
how long had you 2 kids.
I
think.
probably had 2. Yes, I got married in 1998.
Okay, so you'd been around the block with your
Yeah,
marriage.
for
You were
sure.
like in it.
Yes,
In it to
yes,
win it.
yes. We were deeply committed to each other and to raising a family, even though we didn't know how.
Right.
Which
well,
is
who does?
some people more than us. I think I've come to believe that some people have a better handle on it. And the first thing that really drew me to you was that both of your parents wrote for Beverly Hills 90210.
Yes.
Which was to call it a formative show is actually an understatement.
Yeah.
It was probably like the singular most important part of my 8th and 9th grade years of school. I can't remember a lot from 8th grade, but I can remember the entire first season of
Season
90210.
1, you were in 8th grade?
Season 1, yeah.
Okay.
Is that possible? That makes sense. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
My parents did 1 episode in season 1. They wrote a spec script.
Okay.
And that became an episode, and that was the episode with Matthew Perry. He plays a tennis pro.
I'm starting this all over again.
Hates his dad.
Now, in normal pizza, this would be a huge failure because it's gluten-free. There is no gluten, so you can't. Normal pizza.
Gluten-free is all about second chances.
It really is. Gluten-free pizza has no gluten, so when you're making regular pizza, you go, oh, you're going to ruin the gluten. But here, there's no gluten to ruin.
Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, so it all doesn't matter. It's just about trying to create the appropriate shape of pizza. Okay. So Matthew Perry was in the episode that your parents wrote.
Yeah. And then they were hired on staff for season 2, and then they were there for however many years. I can't remember.
At one point they left?
Yeah. Before my dad died.
Before your father died. Now, okay, spoiler alert, your parents are no longer living.
Yes.
Which explains why you're an expert in grief.
And
tragedy.
Unable to process.
Unable to process grief, which is why you're drawn to certain movies to help you in your complicated grief process. When did you hear about the idea of complicated bereavement?
I feel like I heard about compound grief a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. When did you realize, there's something weird about the way I'm dealing with life that makes me different from everybody else?
Oh, I don't know. When I was 4. Way before my dad died.
Okay, right. So
that wasn't new.
Nothing to do with it.
Complicated bereavement as a.
I mean, so look, the grieving process
all grief is complicated.
Sometimes unless this is true. Oh, take this out. Take it. Otherwise, there's gonna be too much elderberry. You're gonna OD.
It's just gonna be too healing.
You're gonna pass out.
I'm gonna be done.
You're right there. Yes,
okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So if a person if you're 75 years old, my mom was 68 years old when her father died, and she was sad and she grieved, and then the 11 months passed, and then it was the yard site, and she was sad. And she goes to the cemetery, and she misses him, but she's in her 70s, so that's a normal grieving process.
Yes. Okay. Fine. Yeah. I hear you.
So that's a minority of cases, though, that we get to live. We live to see.
I think that some grief is not that traumatic. It doesn't make it not sad, but it is, But yeah, okay, fine. Yes, less complicated for sure.
Well, yeah. So the traumatic nature of your father's death does add
That's
a layer
a whole
to
other
it. Yes.
Thing.
And then, but complicated grief for a lot of people, it's when you have a mixture of feelings towards the person, and that just it kind of arrests the grieving process at some point, and you're just kind of held in situ. Is that an actual phrase? You're kind of stuck.
Yeah.
You're stuck on the grieving process. My father died. I was only 4, but
do you remember him?
I don't at all. And that's
complicated.
That adds to the complicated nature of it. Is that I always feel like there's this part of me that is looking for I'm looking for father. I'm looking to have my Luke Skywalker Darth Vader moment.
One of the movies I was going to bring up, actually.
Yes, it certainly fits.
Yeah.
I'm going to get about to be arrested, and this police officer is going to be there's something I have to tell you. I am your father. That sort of a situation. It hasn't happened yet, and
there's still time. If you didn't see a body, it can happen.
Yes, that's my point. So that's one. I had every Disney movie is about grief on some level, which has made the list so funny.
Yeah.
So that at some point we're going to get the list.
So what were your favorite Disney ones?
My favorite Disney movies that have to do with grief, I think Coco is there.
Oh God, Coco. Jesus.
Coco really hits it.
When I saw Coco in the theater, by the end of the movie, my collarbones, there was just a pool of tears sitting
I'm throwing out
in
this
my
whole
clavicle. It was like it was. What is happening?
This dough just isn't working for me. I don't know what I did wrong. I'm just hating it. I'm going right to the next one.
Okay.
I'm skipping it. I'm skipping this one entirely.
I'll try. Give me something to do.
You want to work with it?
Yeah,
Try to make it. Play with it.
All
See
right.
what you can do with it.
All right, we'll see.
I don't understand. Keep it thick. That's what I'm seeing here. Don't try to stretch it too thin.
All right.
I wish you could see me do a regular dough so you would realize that I actually know what I'm doing. This isn't my first time.
I'll see it on the podcast.
Yes, you'll have to. You'll actually have to
Now I
watch
have
it.
to.
Yeah. Oh, see, now I want to get my list. Now I'm gonna. Now
You wanna go for it?
I'm just gonna hit the list. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Well,
I
we're going out of order.
Mine's on my phone, so I can't.
So you can't, right?
Well, we're going out of. I told you. I'm
totally.
a linear thinker.
Yes.
I'm not.
No, you're not. Yes. Okay. Coco was my number one. Where does
Okay,
Finding Nemo sit for you?
Finding Nemo is. It's up there. I mean, yeah, it's a great dead mom movie.
Yeah. I don't really. What's weird for me is that I don't. Is it? For me, like it's really more about Albert, the dad's issues,
His grief,
and then transferring to this like obsessive need to look out for his son.
Yeah.
Or his
I
baby
think that
fish.
Finding Nemo does a good job of like kind of representing that when there's a traumatic death in the family, everything thereafter, like, connects to that traumatic death. Like,
this is
it
true.
is so hard to do anything without like, oh, and remember when dad died?
Yeah.
And remember that mom's dead? And remember
Yes.
that thing that like all those dead people that aren't here? Like, it is like, there are so few, like, especially when something important happens, you know, it's like, oh, guess who's not here to see this?
Anytime we have a family life cycle event and my mother gets up, you see, you're having.
No, it's awful.
Just hold on one second. Whatever you do, you got to just every once in a while, you got to make sure. See, you're already in the problem here.
No, I don't
It can't stick. It has to be, if you're doing it on this, it can't stick to the bottom because then how are we going to launch it? See?
I don't know.
So hold on. Lift it up for a second. You have to start all over again. This is
Story of my
cornflower.
life.
This is cornflower. Yeah, we're learning here. We're learning here. Okay, here we go. One of ours is going to launch, and there's going to be one in the very end. Ultimately, there will be one good pizza from this.
All right.
We don't know whose it's going to be. Every time there's a life cycle event that my mother comes to, and she always wants to speak, and she gets the microphone, or she's about to start talking, and then she just starts crying.
That's what happened to me. At the
By the
bar
way,
mitzvah.
she was not married to my father when he died.
Oh, she wasn't?
They had already gotten divorced.
My parents too.
Yeah, so they were. She was not in love with him. That was very obvious. But they still had this shared parenting thing, and then that's it. So she.
Are you sure she wasn't in love with him?
They got married. I'm sure she'll appreciate me too.
Hi, Mom.
Sharing this. It's a good thing she doesn't know how to use YouTube.
You can edit this part out.
No, please don't. It'll be fun. She'll never see it. So they got. Look, it's same thing happened to me. This is not you. This is not you. This is awful. This is trash. I should have bought some backups. Oh my God.
It's all right.
No, it's not all right. This is terrible. I don't understand. I don't understand what's happening here. It's almost like it doesn't want to be made.
Maybe more flour?
No, more flour is not going to help. It's just not binding together. It's not binding. There's no binding nature. It doesn't make sense. Okay, so my mother got married very young, and then when
How old is very young?
She was 19 years old when she got married.
Oh, okay, that is legitimate.
That is pretty young.
Okay.
I was 20 years old when I got married.
I was 20.
Okay, yes.
Shia was like, he had just
2 years
turned 21.
Yes. My wife was 2 years older. She was 18 months older than me, so I felt like she was very mature.
She's a grown up.
Yeah, she had already graduated college.
She knew what was going on. She tricked you into it?
No, I met her. She could drive a stick, which for me was like the most.
Oh, snap!
It was the sexiest thing.
Nothing.
And also so adult.
How could you not have married her?
Right. Yeah, she could drive a stick, and she could smoke a cigarette, drive, and shift gears at the same time. Like, how does?
Did she drive with one leg up
That's
like
what you
this?
got to do.
Yeah, I
yes.
did. But I wasn't driving a stick though. It was
Yes.
just a regular car.
Okay, so my mother got married very young, and then what happened was my father's mother died.
Your father's mother.
My father's mother,
your
she had cancer like for many, many years, and then it went away.
When did she die?
She died right after I was born.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so they've been married 5 years already. Then my mother, my father's mother dies, and then their marriage just kind of fell apart.
Why?
And that was it. And then they kind of just became friends.
Complicated grief, maybe.
Yeah. They were friends. That's what they were, just like friends. And they were like, "Why are we married? We should both be in love with the person we're married to." probably just should have gone to therapy.
Maybe
and
a
figured
little.
out maybe if the grief thing is something, but they didn't. They got divorced early 80s. That's what you did back then.
Yeah.
Just, you know, you got knocked down, you got up, you started dating again. They both got remarried immediately.
Really?
And it was like, yes, within like 2 years they were both remarried.
Oh.
And then neither one of those marriages lasted.
Oh,
Well, my
okay.
father's because he died.
Well, yeah,
But
that's not
my
great for
mother's
marriage.
because the marriage died.
Okay.
So the point of that was though, so therefore my mother, anytime she speaks about anything or anytime like a new car or like a random vacation, she'll just say like, oh, and then she'll just start crying and then boom, we're right back there.
Wow.
And yes, and we all love it and roll our eyes. What's funny though, because I was just at a bar mitzvah for your son, and you got up to speak, and it immediately started talking about your mom, and I totally got it.
But because I had to.
I got
was
it.
Like, how could I not talk about my mom? Like,
Yes. By the way, look, I got it. It's so thick though. I want to say this is. Oh, you got it also. Okay, good.
got it.
Yeah.
Getting there.
Okay, so it's gonna be rough. What I feel bad about is the crust is not gonna be whatever. If I can just still there, still moving. Okay. Whew. The Lion King.
Oh, obviously.
The Lion King is
Yeah.
the Lion King is right up there with Coco.
The Lion King was I remember seeing The Lion King in theaters when I was a kid, like when it came out, and it was like I don't know how formative. I assume it was pretty up there, and you know the whole idea of like, the guilt of it all was like, oh yeah, that guilt of a traumatic accidental death is like, oh yeah.
Can we tell the story in brief without we don't turn this into a moth story hour
Yeah,
of
okay,
tragedy?
yeah. My dad died in a sailing accident,
And?
and me and my mom were on the boat, and my uncle and my friend.
Yes.
Do we need more than that?
No, that works. I mean, it helps that it was, and the worst part was it was on the way to Catalina.
On the way to
So
Catalina.
like it wasn't even like we were in the
4th of July
Bahamas
weekend.
or it was like Puerto Rico. It wasn't even Dominican Republic. It was like
No.
Catalina.
Right there. And we went to Catalina last summer.
And
It was fantastic. I got horrible food poisoning and vomited in a Ralph's parking lot.
Besides that, it was awesome.
Harder than I've ever thrown up in my whole life. After Shia was like, I just want to warn you. He was like, you burst all the blood vessels in your face. So when you look in the mirror, I don't want you to.
Don't be afraid. So this was your first time back to Catalina.
This was my first time back to Catalina. And in talking to my therapist afterwards, she was like, I think it was like an emotional purge.
Oh, by the way, this ties neatly into grief and gluten. So you're the second gluten-free guest we've had, the second guest who's come on to talk about grief.
Yeah.
And listen, there are more neurotransmitters in the stomach and the gut than there are in the brain. Even
Don't we know it?
And so you have digestive stuff going on.
Yeah, I cannot do the gluten thing. And the dairy thing, not so great either.
Right.
But welcome to being an Ashkenazi Jew.
Also true.
But also Zizi, my daughter is anaphylactic to dairy. So we don't even have it in my house.
Right.
So I just don't even mess around. I'm like, whatever. I can maybe with a lactate pill and a this and a that. And I'm like, I just don't want to bother.
When did you realize that the gluten and grief were connected? And are you planning on researching this in graduate school? Because I feel like you should get like a MacArthur scholarship to figure this out.
A genius grant.
Yes.
I think there are things I am more interested in, than the connection between grief and gluten.
By the way,
grief
that could
and gluten.
be the gluten practice.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that this is a complex question for the ages, especially since like almost everyone I know is terrible at processing gluten.
Yeah, I just force myself through it.
You just go for it.
Yeah, that's it. I would rather be uncomfortable
rather
than
suffer.
live in a world where I can't eat pizza.
I get it.
Okay, don't push it. Don't stretch it any more than that.
I'm not
I think.
gonna touch
look,
it.
no one's gonna give us any awards for these pizzas.
It's all right.
Okay. I am. Which one of these are you feeling is gonna be better suited? The olive oil cheese
I don't
spread
know. I've never
or the
tried
matzo
these.
shred?
Let's see which one is
Okay,
more tolerable.
I'm gonna go half and
Which
half.
one tastes more like cheese?
Neither possible.
Which one melts better?
Yep.
There's so many things to consider
Yes.
in the world of
I mean, it just looks like I'm putting
vegan
daikon
cheese with
on
nothing
top
on
of
it.
something. This is This also looks like packing material. I mean,
No,
there's
but
almost-
I want to try yours, and also because this is
Yes.
way too much flour on this.
We're
I don't-
going halves
We're
this
gonna
year.
see we're gonna see what happens.
I don't even know if you can call it flour, if that's appropriate.
Flour substitute.
Okay, so
So
here here we go.
wait. So which thing did you want to talk about?
Lion King. We started with Lion King.
Lion King, guilt and remorse.
And
I don't want to talk about it. And just keep going.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's not think about grief. Let's just have fun instead and eat bugs and hang out with my new friends who
Right.
don't know about grief and stuff.
Yes.
Won't that be great? I'm not even going to tell them. Do you know that I didn't tell Shia about my dad's death until, like, for real, like, we'd been married maybe 7 or 8 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I knew that. So I knew it. So
No, but like the full
full
thing.
story.
I mean,
Got
he
it.
read about it in the article my mom wrote on Chabad.org
Yes.
about my dad's death. And
Right.
that's how he knew what had happened. Like, I didn't,
You
I
didn't
was like,
actually tell him.
because I was like, I went through a period where I was like, especially very soon after my dad died, that it was like, either I have to tell you the whole story,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm not going to bring it up at all. Like, there was kind of no in between.
Yes.
And yeah, so when I met Shia, I really, really didn't want him to feel sorry for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just kind of like, yeah, my dad died. And that was kind of it. I was
Yeah.
like, we don't have to talk about it.
Did he? This is something my wife said, that for a while she was really impressed by how well I kept myself together. She said that about me, that she was really impressed that I'd had these difficult experiences when she met me when I was 18 years old, but I seemed to be like really adult and mature.
Yeah.
And she doesn't say that anymore. She always talks about how she used to say that.
She used to. Now she knows what an adult actually is.
Yeah. No longer impressed. I think I'm gonna put yours in first because I feel like yours has a shorter shelf life, that I want to get it cooked faster before.
Okay.
So I'm afraid yours is gonna stick to the bottom,
All right, let's see what
and
happens.
mine is still partially. Oh, it's gonna be tough. Okay.
All right.
Okay, we're ready to move.
It's doing.
It's not doing bad. I
I
got what they had.
recommend it.
I got what they had. I was completely committed. Yeah, exactly. It's not.
That's not bad. You probably could have stuck some vegetables on there.
No,
Maybe
no,
some herbs to
no.
like cut the fake cheese flavor.
No, we have to be fully committed to it.
Daikon kohlrabi?
Yeah,
Daikon?
it's behaving like kohlrabi, because hence it would behave.
It's just little pieces of potato.
It's like.
That's legit, Mert.
Yeah, because it's
The
still.
other one's melting.
No, this one works.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the real takeaway. I guess I'll just spin it and cook the non-burnt side, and then let me go like this. It's gonna do a half in, half out, just like that. Just to. Okay. I think we're gonna pull it. I think we're just gonna pull this one, and let's see what the other one looks like. Let's keep this back up. Yeah, we're not getting any awards for this one. I think that's. Okay, so hold on. Let me just do this real quick. This is gonna come up again. I'm gonna do this in a second.
I'm gonna wash my handies.
Yes, there is. Here is.
Can I use this thing?
You can use this soap that's right here.
What? Oh.
I almost want to switch out my cheese now.
Yeah. Don't do
I
the
think that's the
potatoes.
move. I'm gonna take out the potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Potatoes are gone. Potatoes are dead to me.
Potato kugel.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's. I mean, it looks hard.
Actually, potato pizza is amazing. That's what we should have made.
What do you mean? What are you saying?
Vegan potato pizza. They have it in Italy, and it's basically just like dough with like very thinly sliced potatoes on top with like olive oil on
Got
top.
it.
It's like potato gratin.
Yes.
How to use?
I'm so
fancy
confused.
people
Is there dough involved?
Yeah. It's pizza dough
Okay.
with potato gratin
I've
on
had.
top,
Okay.
and there's no cheese at all,
But there's
and there's no tomato sauce.
but there's gluten.
Yes, but you could make it
So
gluten-free.
you can eat gluten in Italy. Have you tried?
Well, I did.
Uh-huh,
We
and?
brought these gluten enzymes to Italy, and
Yes.
I took them diligently. I did not eat like whole bowls of pasta, but I did eat pasta and pizza, and I did the whole thing. And I was actually pretty okay until I got home and had a full rash all over my arm. But I also came home with COVID. So who is to say?
Who knows?
Who knows?
But
it went away pretty fast. So
I do think
I don't know.
the gluten and the flour in Italy is different.
Yes.
And when we travel, we walk so much, especially a place like Italy.
Yeah.
Here in Los Angeles, where we're not allowed to walk on the sidewalks.
We were walking all
I get dirty looks when I walk on the streets here. People are like, what's wrong with you? Where's your car? You should be on a lime at least. Okay, I'm gonna drop this one in, and I think this is gonna be a good one.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, but first, hold on a second.
Okay, don't say anything important because water.
No. Look, I have fake Parmesan here too.
Oh, love that.
I'm just gonna drop this on.
Cool.
Just for.
Oh, and we got some basil.
I have basil also. I'm filled with fear about these pizzas.
I think the eating will be good. It'll help me relax. Let's get into it. What are we doing?
Bambi, Snow White.
Oh, Bambi!
Cinderella.
Oh my God, Bambi! How could I forget about Bambi? Yikes! When I saw Bambi, this is like a famous Shira Wasserman story. When I was little, my parents took me to see Bambi in the theaters, and when Bambi's mom got shot, I stood up in the theater and yelled, "Don't worry, Bambi, your daddy will take care of you!"
Wow.
I know, right? It's so sad.
That's pretty bad.
I know. I was like, it's gonna be okay.
Cinderella.
We can get through this.
Cinderella also.
Cinderella, both parents are dead.
Yes.
Because first the mom goes and then the dad goes.
This some good things are happening here.
Belle's mom is dead. It's almost always the mom. Frozen, both
parents are dead.
And a shipwreck.
I don't even know shipwreck.
That's how they die.
Oh, shipwreck. Oh, of course. Yes.
It's a sailing accident.
Yeah.
But they weren't on the boat. But the amount of tears I shed when I saw Frozen the first time, like before Frozen was Frozen. You know what I mean? Like Shai and I went to go see it when it had like just come out. No one had even heard. He was like, "Want to go see this movie?"
No children.
No, we went alone.
Okay.
No children. The kids were little, and we went to go see it. And I sat there just like bawling through, do you want to build a snowman? And I have maybe like of all the TV shows and movies and whatever's about like grief and dead parents and whatever, I've maybe like the way I identified with both Anna and Elsa.
The way both of they dealt with their grief.
Both of them.
Differently.
Because I was the cold queen and also the one who's like, but don't you want it? Can we just play? Like that's both those voices are in my head.
Yes.
All the time.
Well, that very much of an IFS, internal family systems, no wrong way to grieve, kind of different parts, dealing with loss different ways.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
want to do this. Okay, here we go.
Have you seen the Pixar short about IFS?
I have not.
Okay, I have to send it to you.
Please do so.
I will. I can't remember what it's called, but it's fantastic. It's a girl going to a club, and you'll love it. It's just a short. It's fantastic. I'll send it to you.
There was one that I wasn't ready for. Oh, you know that it was a bad movie. Actually, it wasn't on the list, but it should have been. Onward.
I didn't think Onward was a bad movie.
I didn't think it was a good movie.
I thought
look,
you were the one. I was like, you were like, by the way, warning, dead dad movie.
And it was obvious.
I didn't even really know. Like I don't know how that I didn't know, but you were like, hey, by the way.
Yeah, be prepared.
Going into this, you should know that
it did not
this
come
is
through,
a hardcore dead dad movie.
It did not come through on the trailer.
No, it really didn't. But damn.
Yeah, they
I thought they did actually a really, really nice job with it. And I cried and cried and cried.
I just didn't love the movie. I felt like, yes, they did the grief part. Yeah, I wasn't in love. It didn't make my list.
It's not the best Pixar movie ever, but the pieces of it that they did well, like as a child of a dead father, I thought they really did parts of it really, really beautifully.
Then right afterwards, they came out with the movie Soul, which is not really about dead parents or grieving, but it has a lot of. That didn't work for you? Mileage may vary on the jazz part.
I don't know what that movie is about.
I thought it.
It's Tina Fey is an angel.
Yes.
And maybe this is what happens when we die.
Yes.
And there's a cat.
For me, it felt like near-death experiences
okay.
can best be understood by improvisational jazz. That was what the movie was about. There you are.
This is great.
Okay. It's not bad.
And I'm hungry, so it's like
the cheese is really working for me. The dough is not. I have to go back to the beginning with the dough, and that's what I'm most embarrassed about. But that kind of looks good. But
it's good.
The onion, without gluten, what's holding it together?
God.
It really is. Maybe that's the grief tie-in.
Faith.
The grief is in place of the gluten. Because grief is what's keeping us connected.
It's what brings us together.
That grief and gluten are the same thing.
Yeah.
So is our difficulties with grief connected to our difficulties with gluten? Well, we won't know because you don't want to study that because you think there's more important things to study.
I don't. Maybe.
My Girl, 1991.
Oh my God, that wasn't even on my list. Oof.
Well.
My Girl is rough. And we all watched it so many times. And she's just so not okay.
Yeah, clearly.
And then
spoiler.
Spoiler alert, those bees?
The whole thing.
Really bad. Yes.
Okay, good.
But My Girl 2 was fantastic. You've seen My Girl 2, right?
There's a sequel to My Girl?
It's in LA.
What are you talking about?
I can't believe you've never seen My Girl 2. You must not be a millennial girl.
First of all, I'm not. Thank you for noticing. Second of all, spoiler alert, the girl is dead at the end of My Girl 1.
What the hell are you talking about?
What is your understanding of the movie My Girl with Macaulay Culkin?
Yeah. Macaulay Culkin dies. Veda doesn't.
Why am I getting that flipped?
Oh my God, Simcha.
Who gets...
Macaulay Culkin dies. I'm so sorry. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Macaulay Culkin dies because he's allergic to bees, and he goes to look for her mood ring in the tree, and the bees come. I am also allergic to bees. By the way. But she doesn't die. She's tortured and heartbroken over the death of her best friend.
You know what's so crazy is I have this.
And
whole
she's
movie
weeping because her dad and Jamie Lee Curtis are preparing her friend for his funeral, and she loses it.
Yes. I don't know why I have this totally reversed in my head. There's no excuse for this.
You have it completely wrong.
I do.
My Girl 2
is what about?
She is living her best life, and she comes to LA
and
to visit her uncle, and has like a fling with her uncle's girlfriend's son, and there's like this whole.
So her stepbrother?
No.
He could be her stepbrother.
Sorry, it's her uncle's girlfriend's son.
Fine, so it could be.
So it's like a little whatever, but they're really not.
It could be her cousin.
Whatever.
Anyway, it's a cousin thing.
It's a cousin thing.
It's a cousin. It's Arrested Development.
They go to the La Brea Tar Pits, and there's this whole thing with the mood ring. Anyway, but they like show the last cappuccino before the 101 sign on her way to from the airport. It's much less intense than the first movie.
Okay. So Bridge to Terabithia.
Oh my God.
I
can't. I never saw the movie. I only read the book.
I only read the book.
Yeah.
Something about the 1980s. They did not warn us.
They were obsessed with killing people in front of us and just
killing young
us
people
to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, just figure it out.
No, they were like, you'll be fine.
Yeah. After Yang.
I don't know that movie.
Very good movie. 2002.
Okay.
It's 2022. Excuse me. It just came out.
Oh.
It's a recent movie.
I was like 2002. I was deep in high school. 2022. I just didn't.
Big Fish.
I never saw Big Fish. I know. I'm embarrassed. I just deleted my whole list. No, here it is.
Too bad. I was really hoping you deleted it. That would have been better.
That would have been great.
Yes.
I never saw Big Fish.
Okay, so
I knew that I should, and everybody else did, and I don't know why I never did. I have also never seen Schindler's List.
Okay, I don't care for Schindler's List. I think it's overrated.
Okay.
It's not even close to my favorite Steven Spielberg movie.
Okay.
It's not my favorite Holocaust movie. There's no laughs.
It's so not
no
funny.
musical numbers.
That's my problem with the Dragon, Game of Thrones part.
House of the Dragon?
Thank you. It is so not funny.
It's not interesting
a laugh in sight.
Yeah. I
just needed to say.
Thank you. Thank you for coming out with that and clarifying that. The entirety of Harry Potter is about
Oh
dead
my God.
parents.
Yeah, no, Harry Potter was on my list, even though I don't really connect to the movies because I find like one of the discussions in our house is that the movies just feel like trailers for the books.
Yes. Nothing wrong with that though.
No, I mean they're very long trailers. Yes. But
okay, I'm trying one of these.
The Harry Potter series was I started them when I was in like 8th grade-ish, and they were like very important to me. And it was like, oh yeah, let's talk about dead people. Like that was actually like, it was important.
First book,
Very important.
first book very much about grief and letting go.
Very, very much. And the mirror and the whole thing. And I was like, oh my God, me too. And I mean, I still had my mom, thank God.
Right.
But it's funny, like Shia now with our kids reading Harry Potter, he's like, oh, now I get why this movie really why these books like really meant something to you. Because to him, he was a kid, he was like, everybody loves Harry Potter, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, oh no, this meant something to you.
Yes.
And it was like, yeah, they really, really meant something to me. Tree Grows in Brooklyn.
No, I never read it.
Okay. You should.
It's
Put
a
it
movie
on.
also?
I think so, but I never saw the movie.
My wife just read it.
Oh, really?
Just read it.
It's really good, and it's a dead dad, and I read it right after my dad died. And I read his copy that he had stolen from the Brooklyn Public Library. He borrowed and never returned.
What high school
Because
did your
he
dad
loved
go
it. Beechwood High in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay. So
He's in the Hall of Fame.
is he?
Yeah, he is.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Coraline?
I don't think I ever saw Coraline.
Okay.
But I know what it is. But I don't even think I knew it was
technically Tarzan?
Oh, I had Tarzan on my list. I mean, Tarzan, yeah. Death and grief and starting over and finding your people in the after. Sleepless in Seattle.
I did not have that on my list at all.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Okay.
And it's a dead mom movie, and it's about finding love after loss. It's so hopeful.
Right. Okay. I'll give it to you.
You'll give it to me.
I will allow it.
Oh, okay. Little Miss Sunshine.
I mean,
It's not officially.
You're saying Alan Arkin's
Yeah,
overdose?
I mean, I can't tell you how hard I cried at the end of that movie. When I saw that movie, I don't know why I was watching it alone. And after I finished, I was crying so hard that Shia was like, "Are you okay?" Like I was.
Were you crying harder than Eddie Murphy when he didn't win Best Supporting Actor because Alan Arkin won it and he lost it for Dreamgirls?
I'll have to check and see.
Because Eddie Murphy got up and left the Academy Awards. He was that upset. Were you more upset than that?
I might have been. I lost it. That movie, the suddenness of the death.
Yeah.
And the immediate need to like just keep going.
Ooh.
And then finding the joy and the connection with each other for this little girl and the inappropriateness of the song and the performance and the whole and how they all show up for each other.
Yeah.
Like in the wake of that, like completely sudden out of nowhere death.
Yes.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
The first time I ever watched Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind,
Oof.
I finished it and I just started sobbing.
Yeah.
And my wife is still making fun of me for it because it didn't make any sense. She was just like, "What is wrong with you?" She was much more kind than that, but only slightly. The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Ariel's mother is absent.
Yes.
Presumed dead.
Oh, she's dead. She's not dead? She's for sure dead.
I don't know. Beauty and the Beast. Also, Belle's mom never mentioned.
No, she's dead for sure.
You can tell the mom is dead because she's making some horrible choices with men.
Well, that's what I was thinking about. All of these Disney princesses, they all have dead moms and or dead dads, and they are all making really, really questionable romantic choices. Which brings me to a couple shows that Never Have I Ever. Mindy Kaling.
Never have I ever watched
I don't. Okay, in terms of like a teenage girl's dad dying, it gets it.
You were how old when
good.
your father died?
I was 12 and a half.
12. So it was right before you had celebrated your bas mitzvah already? Your bat mitzvah already?
No, because I did my bat mitzvah when I was 13. So my bat mitzvah was like 6-7 months after my dad died.
So that also explains why your recent...
The last couple weeks have been
Yes.
a lot. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
You cracked the code.
Viewers of the show should know that your
son's
son
bar
recently
mitzvah
celebrated his bar mitzvah.
It was last weekend.
Right.
Yeah, and it was awesome. And the aftermath has been so surprisingly a lot. Like I did not see this coming. I thought after it was over, it would just be so chill.
Right.
Because like all the hard part was getting ready for it. And I woke up Friday morning of the bar mitzvah and I could not walk because the body keeps the score. And
Oh,
my
yes.
system was like, you're hilarious that you thought you were going to do this and just shut it all down.
This
and
was
not
this
feel.
Friday?
No,
After?
this was the
day
Friday
before.
The day before, and I was like, I'm going to need a wheelchair to get to shul on Saturday.
Okay.
And my chiropractor opened the office for me and fixed me, and I
Magic.
sobbed on her table,
Okay.
and she I don't even know, but anyway.
The sobbing was probably the releasing of something,
Oh,
some sort of
100%.
somatic,
Oh, for sure.
somatic
For
discharge,
sure.
we would say,
For sure, yes.
and that
100%.
enabled you to walk.
And then I was okay, and it was wild. It was nuts. Where was I going?
Hunchback of Notre Dame. Quasimodo's mother is killed by Frollo in the opening, and do you think that affects his posture?
Probably. He should see a chiropractor. The body keeps the score.
That's right. The whole movie is about his getting over the grief.
Yeah. He can't get over it.
Big Hero 6.
Oh my God. I didn't put that on my list.
Okay.
God, that movie's 100%. That's all about grief and yeah. Oof. Can we talk about Star Wars for a second?
I would love that.
Okay. So,
As mentioned at the top, a very interesting movie for me that I always felt like Darth Vader's out there and he's my real father, and one day I'm going to meet him.
right.
Still waiting.
Which brings us to Dylan McKay's father dying, and when my parents wrote it, they were like, don't show the body because we want to bring him back later from the world of the soap.
So
if there's no body,
so first the yacht blows up.
Yes.
And this is season 2, maybe?
I don't know. 3, 4?
I don't remember. By the way,
It's not season 2. No,
huge
it's later.
yacht.
Really big.
Because he's living in
No, the yacht doesn't blow up. The car blows up.
right in front of the yacht?
Yeah. It's the car parked in the marina.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're good. You're good. You think
I was there.
you were actually there for it. We should mention that you are actually in more than one episode of the show.
Yes, you can IMDb
If you know
me.
when you come out of a bathroom.
Girl number 2.
When Dylan's sister gets her period.
That's right. And I'm like, we asked, but what do I say? I think I say no.
You've got great hair.
We asked her, but she wouldn't tell us.
Yeah, you've got amazing hair there.
Oh, I had a very special French braid.
Perm.
It was a French braid. Yeah. I was
Overalls?
very proud of that. No, my friend Lindsay, she was girl number 1. She was in the overalls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what other episode are you in?
I'm in several summer episodes at Beverly Hills Beach Club.
Okay, it seems like those are special.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And also, there's a couple in there. Ray Pruitt does a birthday party. I'm at the birthday party playing musical chairs.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Halloween thing at Occidental College.
Right.
You know.
Yes.
CSU.
Yes.
I'm wearing a Bobby Soxer skirt with a poodle on it.
As it
like a poodle skirt.
As
I
a
don't know.
college
Halloween.
girl?
No, I was a child.
As a child.
Like the sorority does a kids party or something. I was there.
Okay.
Anyway.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else we got?
Okay.
Star Wars. Okay, so the thing I
yes,
want to say
give it
about
to
Star
me.
Wars is, yes, there's the Darth Vader thing, and there's, yes, Luke never met his father. But then there's Leia, who, for all she knows, has been raised by her parents, and they are decimated in the first 5 minutes of the movie, and her grief is never discussed.
Not just her
Not
parents.
only
whole planet.
everyone she's ever known.
The whole planet's
The entire planet. Her home is gone. Her kindergarten teacher, her best friend, her mom and dad, her everyone, gone in an instant.
Also,
and she's just like waking up in this room, like, you're here to save me, and that's it. That is her entire grief journey. You've seen it. That's the whole thing. And then she just, like, you know,
well, the galaxy needed her.
finds Harrison Ford. She has a lot to do. That's true. She has a lot of planning to do to distract herself from her. But, like, is she okay?
First of all, she's not okay. Second of all, you know what? Also, all of the clothes she owned, gone. And you know that because she only wears like 3 more outfits for the rest of the movies. Whereas Queen Amidala's got like a ton of different looks.
She's got a ton of clothes.
Her mom had obviously a great eye.
Someone taught her how to do her hair, though.
Great hair.
Because she's still going with the hair.
Going strong. Well, she found
discussed.
she found a new stylist because clearly there's
R2D2 was doing her hair.
Well, Lilo and Stitch coming out again in live action.
Oh, yeah.
That parents died in a car crash, and
That's
she's
right.
living with an older relative.
Yes. It's her big sister, right? Yeah.
What about your favorite street urchin, Aladdin?
And Jasmine, dead mom.
Correct. Jasmine's mother also not present.
Yeah. Grief bonding, two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yes.
also, like, they don't even talk. Let's talk about it. No, it's fine.
It's really a different Disney.
Yeah.
Because the old Disney was like, we need this person to be an underdog, and they're just be making poor choices for the first 2 acts of the movie. So let's go with an orphan. And then later on, they're like, we should actually talk about how this orphan child might be experiencing things on the inside. But otherwise, no, we didn't care until, what was the first Disney movie? The Lion King, I guess.
The Lion King, we
That's
cared. Yeah.
A movie that I hate, and I didn't care for the book either, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close.
I
despise it.
Didn't see it. Which one was that? Who was in it?
It's about a boy who is on the spectrum, never really mentioned, is incredibly smart, just a precocious little genius.
Okay.
And he is...
Who's in it?
I don't even remember. Like, I blocked this movie out.
I didn't see it. I was like, I don't think this is for me.
His father dies in 9/11, and you don't find that out towards the end. And the movie came out in 2011, so only 10 years after 9/11. Too soon.
Yeah.
Way too soon.
Can I have a napkin?
No, you may not.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Okay, Raya and the Last Dragon.
I couldn't stand that movie.
It was one of the first movies we saw when they opened up the theaters.
That movie was so bad. And when we saw it, the kids, we saw it at home. We didn't go to the theater to see it.
Okay, fair
enough.
enough.
Which, I'm glad, because...
It was a waste of 3. I went all the way to City Walk for that. I think I had to take a COVID test.
You paid $30 to park at City Walk?
Yes.
No, we saw that movie, and at the end, when it's like, you guys failed, you never should have trusted this lunatic, everything is over, the world has ended, you're all turned to stone, and they're all just standing there, and they are turned to stone, and it's quiet, and Mendel goes, the end.
It's when it should have ended.
I mean, that was the end, and then somehow the dragon brings them all back to life or whatever, but that was, the best part of that movie was Mendel's.
He knew it. That's when it should have ended. That's when my interest ended. The Chronicles of Narnia, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Are their parents dead?
They're separated from their father during the war.
He's
Grief and separation are major themes. Does he ever come back? We never know.
That's so interesting.
We assume he something happens.
And where's my mom?
I don't know. These are just kids running around, being very one of these just poorly supervised situations.
Was it the Kinder Transport? Is that what that movie's about? Or no, it's the Blitzkrieg, and they go out to the country to get away from
rather
London.
Than just being in the
That's
in the
what
tube.
it is.
Yeah. And they discover a wardrobe and Christianity.
Jesus, that's a lion.
Jesus. They find Jesus in the cupboard. What is he doing there?
I'm scared to laugh because I'm sure there's food in my mouth. And my magnet teeth.
Yes. We haven't spoken about our favorite one. My favorite one.
What?
I'm assuming About Time.
Oh,
I fucking love that movie.
I love that movie.
It's so good.
It's a fantastic movie.
Yes.
It's a very super dead dad, dead son. Son and dead dad movie. The daughter's grief is barely mentioned. That daughter, who she's a mess anyway.
Yes.
No, it's a great movie though. Yeah, I love that movie. Really fantastic movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Solid. I
solid.
fantasize about that movie, and I watched it with someone who has not lost a parent, and they're just like,
Really?
Yeah.
They didn't get it?
No, they got it, but it's not for everybody. It's a great
end when the children and how the whole connection of like having kids is what you have to move forward. You have to. And like your own family is what's ultimately gonna be a part of that. I mean, it was for me. Yeah. That's why I had kids so young. I was like, I need to make my own family. This sucks.
I got married when I was 20 years old.
Yeah.
And had my first son when I was 21.
Yeah. I was 21. I had Shanna. I was 21 because I was like, I need to try this because you guys didn't figure it out.
BTW, it didn't totally help. It didn't solve everything.
Wait, it didn't?
Being a
It
parent
totally
at 21
solved all the problems for
did
me.
not solve the complicated bereavement and my need for family.
But looking back,
I understand what I was doing.
but now, like, what you have now, like, I mean, for me, I want to
Yes.
talk about you.
Please.
For me,
Yes.
back then, I
Yep.
was a mess.
But
Now, like, I'm so grateful for those crazy choices I made in this desperate attempt to make my own family and move forward. Because now, after the, Shayna's going to be 18 this summer, I am, like, it wasn't the worst idea. Like,
right.
turned out, we've done a ton of work. Like, me and Shia have worked our asses off to get
it would be really
to
good
move
if we
forward
could
and whatever.
interview
But
you the whole time through and see if you felt the same way. But
at the time?
At the time. Like, we spoke to you at 20, 25, 28, 32. Like, how's it going? Although I will say this.
But I can do that in my head. I know
One of
exactly how it was going all the way through. I'm very, very grateful for where I am now. Extremely, extremely grateful for where I am now.
I was standing next to my wife at your son's bar mitzvah and watching Mendel speak and watching you watch your son speak. And I was so touched by how I was like, these people really like their children.
Yeah.
They really love each other.
Yeah.
And then my wife and I were just like, what did we do wrong?
We talk about movies a lot.
In your family?
Oh my God.
Yeah, you're a big movie fan. You're also a big Disney family.
We're a big Disney family. We're a big movie family. We read books
together.
Like, Shayna read this whole, oh my God, talk about grief and stuff. Have you read the Stormlight Archive?
The what?
The Stormlight
I don't
Archive.
believe that I have.
Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah.
He's a
We have the books.
prolific
We're familiar.
author. Okay, so
Yes.
read them. I got them because I listened to this podcast called The Feminist Survival Project, which is fantastic. Really great. That's a whole other thing that we can talk about. But there is an episode of their podcast about gratitude. And in that episode, this podcast is done by twin sisters. They both have PhDs in various things, another story. But anyway, this episode is about gratitude. And one of the sisters talks about how getting through her journey of depression and stuff and ultimately finding gratitude for the hardest times in her life, basically. And they talk about the research of gratitude and how to really make gratitude like work for you and to act like what the most effective gratitude practices are. Because the most effective is not just writing a little list of, I'm so grateful that there's a roof over my head. So like little window into that, just because it's worth hearing. One of them is to write or talk about, I think it was to write a letter to a person you are grateful for. And sharing it can like give you both like a boost in mental health for like 6 months, both of you. Or keep it to yourself and you still get a boost for like 3 months or something.
Okay.
I forget the details. And then the other one is to start a practice of gratitude where you don't just write about the thing you're grateful for, but you write about how you got to the thing you're grateful for. So if you're gonna say, I'm grateful for the roof over my head, some people might feel that, but then they'll have like survivor's guilt. And then they'll have all this, but all those people who don't have roofs over their heads and all these, and then you just start feeling guilty. And it's like, that's not what we're looking for in this practice. You can feel guilty another time.
It's not a problem. We have many things to feel guilty
So
about.
many things to feel guilty about. But the way to do this practice is to talk about, how did I get here? And so one of the sisters talks about like, well, I have this roof over my head because of this relationship I was in with this guy and we broke up, and like this whole story of how she got to this thing. And then you wind up being grateful de facto for all these terrible things that happened that have brought you to where you are.
How does this tie into Brandon Sanderson?
I'm going to tell you.
I'm so confused.
There is a Brandon Sanderson book in the Stormlight Archive that is basically like, there is a huge theme of this gratitude for the horrible thing. This thank you, I hate you thing. And so I listened to this and then I was like, oh my God, I got to read this. It's book 3 of a currently 5-book series that's going to be 10, and there's thousands of pages in every book. But then I was told, no, don't start with that series. You have to start with the first series. So I was like, all right, I guess. So I tried to start with the first series, couldn't get into it. Shayna picked it up.
Okay.
And she got obsessed. She has read now everything he's ever written
Brandon
in
Sanderson.
the Cosmere. Yeah.
Got it.
Books and books and books. And then eventually when she finished Stormlight, she was like, Mom, you have to read this. So then I read it. Now I'm still in it. I'm in book 4 now. And now Shai is reading it.
Okay.
And then she eventually let Mendel read it,
Ah.
which took a minute.
Okay.
Because she was like, he can't have this. And
This
then
is my thing.
but then she let him.
She allowed it. I heard
she
about that
allowed
in the
it,
bar mitzvah
which
speech.
they talked about. Yeah,
They
exactly.
did.
So now but she made him do all the homework,
He wasn't
all
allowed
the
to
side
skip
quests.
anything.
I skipped. He was not
Yes.
allowed to skip anything. She made him go through it
Every
all,
mission.
and he
Okay.
did. And yeah, but that is one of the ways that we
Yeah, you guys very
that we
connected.
connect. Yeah,
a very
yeah, we're
connected
very
family.
Yeah, thank God.
2018, Hereditary.
I don't know.
It's a horror movie.
Oh,
all
really?
about grief and loss. It's
Ugh.
amazing. It's
haven't seen
incredible. Okay.
Truman Show.
How so?
His dad is dead, and then he's not. Sailing accident.
See, you're cued into the sailing part.
There are so many dead parents who die on boats. My God, this isn't even unique. I thought, wow, weird. My dad died in a boating. Nope,
No, it happens all the
totally
time.
happens all the time.
Titanic.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's dramatic, but it's apparently
Yeah.
not that unique.
Yeah.
If you're in a movie.
Fleabag.
Okay, I have not yet watched all of Fleabag.
What do you want?
I know,
Because
I know.
your kids are too young. You're waiting for Mendel to be older than 13. He's not ready for Fleabag yet. She's a little.
I'm like still waiting. I'm like, Mendel, are you ready to watch Stranger Things yet? He's like, oh, not. I don't know.
It's
I watched
delightful,
with Shayna, but
right?
he hasn't. He's scared of having nightmares. He hasn't watched it yet.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Yes.
Truman Show again. Like the dad's death, it keeps coming back.
Right.
And it's how they instill his fear.
Right.
They create the trauma so that he will be phobic. Like,
Yes.
good call. So effective. Spider-Man,
Okay. Yes.
right?
Yeah. I mean, then you have Dark Knight also. Yeah. You
I mean,
have
it's
the
not like
whole
he's
Batman.
the only superhero with dead parents, but
There's
the guilt and the he just Spider-Man can just not get it together. He just keeps messing up,
right.
and I relate to that so much. He's really trying to do the right thing.
So Batman also
Yeah.
has dead parents and is clearly bothered by it. At least the Christopher
But
Nolan
he's
ones.
older and I mean, just messed up in different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you old enough for the first Batman? Were you 1989? Were you not plugged in enough to
I like
remember
Michael
how
Keaton.
big that was? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure I saw it way too young. I was 3.
Probably.
Why
could
was
tell.
I watching?
The Family Stone.
I watched part of that.
Very grad school movie, by the way. It's going to come up in grad school.
All
that,
right.
that and the TV show Parenthood is going to come up. Just be
Oh,
ready.
yeah.
Parenthood, very graduate school
Okay.
focused. You're going to talk about it in every class.
I have seen some of Parenthood, not the whole. Wait, the
Right.
movie or the show?
The movie is incredible. I'm a huge
The
fan of
movie's
the movie.
great.
Keanu Reeves, young
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves is absolutely amazing.
Okay, what else did I got? Okay, we did these. We have a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, to the TV show, which we spoke about a little. I think that TV, like current television, I think often surpasses current films because
Not just in the complicated bereavement category.
not
but
just in the complicated bereavement category, but
Also-
also there
Yeah.
because I think that the way TV has moved past just like episodic storytelling, TV series
Sure.
now.
Yes.
A season is a novel.
Often. Yes.
You know, you get to know the characters. And I think that movies right now often come out feeling more like a novella.
Okay. Yes. And
Yes, and.
therefore you feel that the TV.
So anyway, I have in the world of
So you're
bereavement
still,
and
you're
feeling
still,
characters
You're
and
deep
moving
in the
into all
pocket.
this.
You're deep in the pocket of peak TV still. You've not come back. I've almost left TV. I love TV. I watch TV all the time. But for me, movies is still like there's something that is telling a story in
I mean,
hopefully
it's more
less
concise.
than 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Not
like
waste- you
you're
don't-
rushing through it, man.
You can't. There's no fat. There's so many. But even White Lotus, a show I love, right?
I could not get through
White
the
Lotus
most
season
recent
3.
I was like, you
it's a
took
little bloated.
away the theme song and we're done.
You have to push through.
It was the incest and this. I can't.
It's a lot like you and lactose.
I like being entertained. I don't like homework television.
I will not disagree with you.
Right? Like, I don't know. Like, you can entertain me with feelings. The Bear.
Yes.
Great grief TV.
Very much so.
Phenomenal.
On my list as well.
We could do a whole episode about 7 fishes and spoons.
Yeah.
Those 2 episodes.
Yes.
I mean.
Yes. 2 very good episodes. I want to give me your other big ones.
The Flight Attendant. The Flight Attendant is a grief TV show that I think is just.
Okay.
I mean, the first season. Season 2 gets a little off the rails, but season 1, Kaylee Cuoco in that show. We watched that show and I was like, oh my God, that's me if I hadn't found Shia. And and
kept on drinking.
Basically.
If I didn't quit on drinking.
The way that she, the way that she just makes such bad decisions with so much anxiety because she's just trying to fix it.
Yes.
I mean, yes. You cleaned up the wrong mess. Yes, everything. The whole story there.
Right.
Love it. Love it. Shrinking?
Yes. Deal.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, This Is Us, but when I first started watching This Is Us, it takes them first, the pilot's phenomenal.
Yep.
But then it takes them 700 years to tell you how the dad died.
Well, it's network television.
I kept waiting and waiting and waiting. How did he die? I'm getting ready. I'm gonna cry when they tell us. And then finally they tell you how he died, and I'm like, all right, you know what? It wasn't as bad as my dad actually dying. No. Weeds is another one.
Never watched
Weird choices after a dad dies.
Yes.
Well, her husband, but whatever. Yes. What else we got? Sound of Music. Dead mom.
Yes, correct. Yes, it works.
And no idea where her parents are. She's just in the nunnery, and they don't even show up for the wedding. Are they dead?
They could be.
Maybe.
Yes.
All right, go. I feel like that's
my list. I gave you my list.
That's pretty.
This is where I leave you. 2014's.
Solid.
This is where I leave you.
Did we talk about The Godfather?
I mean, no, but.
Okay, so it's not a traditional dead parent movie.
It's not.
It's not. But in the death of Don Corleone, and also like his illness and just like his kind of like demise and aging and whatever, and then eventually dying, the way that Michael then has to fill in and make terrible choices.
Yes.
Right? I mean, complicated grief.
Yes.
Okay.
This is where I leave you, 2014.
I didn't see that.
Jonathan Tropper.
I still didn't see it.
He's a great writer. It's a great book.
Okay.
It's literally about a Shiva house.
Oh.
Yeah.
Death at a Funeral?
Yes, that's on my list too. A great movie, by the way.
That is such a good movie.
Yes.
Such a good movie.
We're talking about the British one, not the American remake.
I actually never saw the American one.
You don't have to. I did it so you don't have to.
The British Death at a Funeral is so good.
Yes.
The way, I mean, I should watch it again because I think I only saw it once, and just the enjoyment and I mean, talk about comedy and tragedy. So good. So good.
Yes. We're almost out of time.
All right.
And I didn't even get to talk to you about grad school. You're starting when?
In the fall.
Okay, I'm very excited.
I am graduating, getting my bachelor's, like, as we speak. I'm not walking because it's on Shabbos.
Yes.
But, yeah, sorry.
Okay, it's a 3-year, 2-year, full-time, part-time for you?
It's like 2.5 year, and it's like a cohort model. So it's like classes on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I don't know. They haven't called me about the schedule yet.
Yes.
I hear the first semester is like the most intense because there's the most like class work.
Because you're not doing practicum yet.
And then
you're
practicum
not working
starts
at all.
Second semester.
Yes.
And I'm nervous and excited. I am.
You're a nerd. You're gonna do great.
I'm leaning into the nerd part of me as I get older. It's going well. But yeah, I'm apprehensive but excited, and I have this whole summer off, which is the first time because I've been in school every summer since 2021 when I went back and started this whole crazy thing. When my mom was dying, I said to her, I was still at Valley at the time, and I was taking one class at a time because I was like, oh, maybe I'll take more, and then she got sick, and I was like, I can barely get through one, like going back and forth and whatever. And she was in hospice, and I was like, I tried to like ask her some questions at that time. Like the experience of my mom dying was so different than my dad, because my dad was this sudden crazy thing and I was so young, and my mom and tragic. My mom was not tragic, but
the tragedy was spread out.
we knew, like, she had been diagnosed. It wasn't, I mean, it was kind of a surprise to me because I was in such denial when she got diagnosed. I was like, she's gonna be the one that doesn't die from pancreatic cancer. It'll be fine. Miracles happen every day. That's not what happened. But I did, like, there were moments when I asked her questions that I was like, I mean, there's so many questions I didn't ask. Like, the questions for my dead people, like, they keep mounting up and up and up and up. But I asked her at one point, I was like, do you think I should finish this whole school thing and, like, do this whole thing? She was like, if you want to. My Harvard grad mom was like, whatever. Because she was just like, you're good. You're you know, you have Shia and you have the kids, and, like, she was not worried about me, you know. So yeah, she was like, if you want. And so I'm very proud of myself for finishing my undergrad. I'm really, really proud of myself.
Also, in a short period of time, considering.
What's so funny is people telling me that, they're like, oh my God, already? That was so fast. I'm like, it's been 20 years, you guys. In a relatively short period of time, you finished your undergrad.
We don't count the time in between when you were fully out of it. I'm just going with the 1 year, and then you came back, and within 4 years, you finished it.
Yeah. I started in fall 2021, right around when my mom got diagnosed.
Yes. So,
and spring 2025. I'm class of 25.
All told, it took you like 6 years of actual school time.
I guess.
Whereas if you took undergrad, it takes them 4 years. So look at you.
Not that bad.
Well, I'm not counting the 20 years in between.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Summer classes, winter. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for coming here. I want to bring you. You're gonna have to come back again because I feel like there'll be more.
There's more to discuss.
There's more to
talk about for sure.
Grief, and we got the grief.
And I'll be more relaxed next time. Like I'll pull it in.
I think you did fine.
All right.
I think you're a harsh critic.
I appreciate
I'm
that.
sure your mom would have notes for you.
She was so nice though. She'd be like, "You did great. You look so pretty."
Your mom was. Anytime I ever sent your mom anything that I wrote, your mother was always effusive in her praise.
Yes.
And then gave nice notes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, when she would edit my papers in high school, she'd be like, "Why are you writing English like it's your second language?"
You needed it then. Okay.
It took me a while to figure out how to write an essay. I got better at it.
In your defense, your English teacher at Marlborough was busy molesting kids in your class.
That is true. Yes.
So he wasn't focusing.
That is true. Junior year, yeah, that is absolutely true.
Yeah.
That I think was just to leave it at a grief note, this like post bar mitzvah time, it has been maybe more painful to not have her here to talk about the weekend than not having her there for the weekend. Because rehashing and debriefing and talking about stuff the morning
sitting
after.
On the couch, drinking coffee, talking about it, laughing hysterically, being annoyed at certain people.
It literally every moment of that, that has been heart-wrenching.
Your mom sending you to her purse to get her some more Nicorette gum.
So much Nicorette.
Then she would take out the other one and she would put it back into the plastic. It was so. She couldn't throw it out. It's not saving it for later, but she wanted to throw them all out in the same way they came. Very particular.
She was being clean.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Shira.
Thank you.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay.
Thanks for having me.
End scene. That was a great episode of the Personal Pizza Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Special thanks to my delightful producer, Matthew Mojo Jones, and also Patrick, who doesn't have a last name, for doing the lighting and camera work. Also, Shira Rose, thank you so much for coming out. I hope you're loving the show. And if you are, please share and subscribe and have a fantastic day.